At number 3, we have the country of Sierra Leone, otherwise known as Ceylon, a nation known for its roaring mountains and having some of the world's largest diamonds. If you have ancestors from today's Sierra Leone and you take a DNA test, your results will usually be lumped together with Mali if you take Ancestry DNA, and with Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone if you take 23andMe. Atlantic African trading relations began in the country around the 15th century, mainly between Portuguese traders and the various Timni, Limba, Sherbrum, Bulom, and Susu kingdoms that dotted the coastline, with all of these nations forming a loose alliance called the Sape Confederacy. And they enjoyed a monopoly on trading wax, ivory, and camwood to the Portuguese, with very little enslaved people being traded. This changed around the mid-1550s, when a small section of people from the old Mali Empire invaded and took over large swaths of the area, leading many to be shipped to the Spanish Americas and Caribbean. The results of these wars led to a new peoples called the Mande forming, as well as slowing of the slave trade after 1625, as the Mande were completely successful, minus losses to the Susu, and for around 100 years, there was a resumption trading in mainly wax, camwood, and ivory, and again small amounts of enslaved people. Into the 1750s, and again it's a different story, due to the fact that Cuban, French, and especially British ships began to set up shop in the area now known as Freetown, and their demand for labor in the sugar colonies that they established put the slave trade back into light, mostly between the years of 1750 to 1850 during the jihads waged by Fula peoples that ravaged the Upper Guinea region. Many of these peoples going to places like Cuba, Haiti, Barbados, Jamaica, as well as South Carolina, USA. The establishment of Freetown in 1787 and the abolishment of importing Atlantic African peoples by the British in 1807 helped to mitigate the enslaved people coming from the region and spelled the beginning of the end of the Atlantic slave trade, with the city serving as a repatriation center for many enslaved Africans and for Afro-descendant people looking for a new life, coming from the Caribbean and the Americas. Unfortunately, it would also serve as a launchpad for Sierra Leone colonization which would last all the way till 1961. Like she fallen like.